Good morning, everyone. It is 19 degrees this morning. It's a little frosty, and I am hiking from, where am I hiking from? I started hiking from, and I can't remember the name of the road, so I'll put that down here at the bottom, but it intersects with Tanyard. Okay, we have 8.9 more miles to Tanyard Gap. I've already hiked 1.5 miles this morning. I wanted to show you how frozen the dirt is this morning. See the tip of my pole? It doesn't go in. Well, it went in right there. It's just frozen solid. I saw this and I thought it was resin, but it's not. It's water that has frozen. So I guess it came from inside there or dripped to that point and then just built up and built up and built up. That's the first time I've seen that. Very, very interesting. Good morning, everybody. So I want to share something with you. A couple of nights ago, I stayed at Laughing Heart Hostel, and that was where I met up with Renee and Walt, Couch to Trail and Walt, and I also met Jersey Redneck, Solo, and Peeps. And Peeps eats Peeps candy. He has got a case of those things packed in his backpack, all different colors. It's hysterical. Jersey Redneck, he kind of stole my heart. If you have followed his channel, he is hiking because his wife passed away from cancer, and he is just brokenhearted. He is a very, very nice man. He's a gentleman. He is funny. And I was getting ready to go to bed, and he said, "Nonnie, wait just a minute. I want you to do something for me." And I said, "Okay." And he handed me this cylinder, and it's kind of a cylinder like you roll up art and put it inside there and you carry it. And I saw that there were some names on it. He said, "These are my wife's ashes. And I'd like you to sign it, because when I get to Katahdin, I'm going to spread her ashes." It took me a minute to sign it. I was so moved that he would even ask me to do such a thing. He asked Couch to Trail and Walt as well. Who does something like that? I mean, that was really sweet. He really loved his wife. And so if y'all will be thinking about him, I would really appreciate it. I just passed him on the trail. That was a couple days ago. I just passed him on the trail. We're going opposite directions because today I'm solo hiking and they're NOBO hiking. He's with Solo, Peeps, and him. They're heading up to Jerry Cabin Shelter. I think their day is 15 miles and mine is 11 or 12. I'd also appreciate it very much if you would pray and think about Sloth. He has lost his mom, and you know, he came off trail because he had a knee injury, and he's been home for not very long, and then he got a phone call saying that his mom wasn't expected to live but another 24 to 48 hours. And he said to me, you know, I guess this was a way of me being brought back home so I would be here when this happened, because if I was on the trail, I wouldn't have been able to get home and maybe not even gotten the phone call in time because of cell coverage. So if you'd be thinking about him, his heart is hurting this morning, and for the next little while, I'm sure. I'd appreciate it. That'd be awesome. And so the forest has changed again. We go from mountain laurels and a green tunnel to kind of an open space with actually, I think, beautiful landscaping, natural landscaping. Okay, so that little sign says Aqua's to the right and Privy is to the left. So let's see down here. Oh, oh my gosh. You know, typically I would not go out of my way to do this because it's just extra steps and miles that don't count as 18 miles. But let's go down this blue blaze and go look at this prairie. I have been amazed. Some of them are like just the nicest things, and some of them have just been, they take your breath away, and not in a good way. At least there's a privy here, though, and that is something to be grateful for. That's it. That's the privy. You cannot get your... I wouldn't be able to sit down there and close that door. My knees would hit it. Oh, funny. And that's a ramp. That's a wheelchair accessible ramp to be able to get up there. Yes, people, you did hear me right. As small as that shelter looks, and as small as that privy is, people that are hiking through here, this is a real blessing. So, to get out of the elements, storms, windy, trees breaking off, this is awesome. There is a really large rock boulder outcropping here. Yesterday, I was able to go into town with Couch to Trail and Walt, and we had lunch together, went to an outfitter store, and then kind of parted. Walt and Couch to Trail are on a different schedule than I'm on, but hopefully in the next week or two things will kind of even out where we're able to hike together more often, and I look forward to that. Hot Springs is a compact little town. It's 4 blocks for business, and they have a post office and 3 restaurants and an outfitter store. The outfitter store is really pretty outstanding. It's very well equipped. It's priced as it's priced. I wouldn't say that it's much higher than any other outfitter store, maybe by $1 or $2 an item for your larger items. The people there are very knowledgeable. They've owned that business for 30 or 35 years, and they really care about what they're doing and their community. It was a nice store. I liked it. We went to a tavern to eat lunch yesterday, and our waitress had on a spacesuit from NASA. It said NASA right across the front of her top. And Walt said, "So you work for NASA?" And she said, "Yes, I've just landed and I'm here to take your order." And we all just looked at each other and started laughing. She was serious. It was so funny. And Renee looked at me, she said, "Look at all the other people in here that are working." One of them had on a mermaid outfit and the other one had on a puppy dog costume. So I guess they dressed up in costumes every day. But that girl that was from NASA, she was a hoot. Just landed. Oh my gosh. The lodge was $155 to $200 per night. And there's a possibility I might have done a video if I'd have stayed in the lodge, but the hostel, I left the hostel after one night and went to a different hostel. So going back to Laughing Heart, Walt had decided that he was going to enjoy a beverage at the hostel. And when he opened it, it made just a tiny little bit of a mess. And I said, "Walt, you're making a little bit of a mess." And he said, Walt's very funny. He said, "Well, let me go get a paper towel and clean it up because it'll be the only clean spot on the entire floor." It was so funny. Okay, this trail is funny. Down there around the gap, I crossed over the street and I came around. I've done a little loop and I've ended up right back on this street to go across it again this direction over that way up those stairs. Very interesting. I entered where I showed you those steps. There was no white blaze on that tree where that bear sign was. So I've come up here and this is a great directional sign. So I'm continuing on here and hoping, okay, there's a blaze right there. All right, well, that was interesting. The trail has warmed up a little bit and it is becoming kind of mushy and slippery. It's not frozen anymore like it was first thing this morning when I started. So I'm going to have to go a little slower so I don't slip. Oh, this is pretty. I have another little story, little anecdote to share with you. My family has started taking bets. They have a little spreadsheet, and every time they listen to a video, they do little tick marks on how many times I say pretty, beautiful, outstanding, awesome, breathtaking. I don't know what other words to use. So I need some help from you all, from this brain trust that watches this channel. I'm sorry I keep using the same words over and over. If you have some other words for me to use, please send them to me and I will start incorporating them into my language, because I just run out of like superlatives for what I see. Everything is just so breathtaking. I don't know what to tell you. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. And yes, Roland, I said awesome. I was on the phone with my daughter yesterday and she said, "Mom, I want to tell you something, but I don't know how to tell you without maybe hurting your feelings." I said, "You're not going to hurt my feelings. What do you need to tell me?" And so she told me that, and I just died laughing. I said, "I'm not upset about it. I know I'm doing it when I do it. I just don't know what else to say." She said, "Every time Sam and I," that's my son-in-law, "sit down to watch a video and I say beautiful," she's like, "Yep, said beautiful." And they go through the whole list and then they start adding it up. I don't know what to tell you. And by the way, Sam, I have not forgotten you. I love you. and you are my son-in-law. I treat you just like my son. I haven't said anything about you, but yes, you are my boy. You're my older boy, and I love and miss you too. So my shuttle driver, Kate, recommended that I go off trail to see this fire tower, which is going to give me an additional 0.30 for the day. They won't be 18 miles, but they'll be miles I walked. And so I am just going to go on up there and see what that's all about. Well, if you look right there, that's where the fire tower is, and I can see there are people up there. Okay. I'm getting ready to go up the tower, and it's really a shame that this is what people do here. That is a Mac Daddy cell phone tower. Okay, here we go. That's where the blue blaze is, where I'll go back down. Pretty cool fire tower, Rich Mountain. So here's the mud today. Yep, it's gonna be a long 2.5 miles down this mountain. It is 37 degrees. It feels like 33. And I guess that's just warm enough for all the mud to appear. So I'm going to be mud surfing down this mountain.